Hello, I'm Judi,
And I'm Paul.
and we're the international coordinators for the Friends program. And we wanted to just speak to you for a few moments about the art show in a time of crisis that's coming up. It's been launched actually, and sitting here having lunch and looking out on the beautiful Hawkesbury River, where we live on an island and have a little retreat centre here, and we're very grateful for where we find ourselves at this time of our lives, and we wanted to think about how we could share that with others. This project that we're involved in is called Art Show in a Time of Crisis, and we'll just come up to see Paul in his studio. He's donated some works, as have a number of other artist friends we know, meditators.
So here is the studio where I've been doing my work, but it's been a project that's involved quite a lot of artists, and Judi will tell you about the generosity of response.
Well, we had the idea, and then we just spoke to half a dozen artists who we know, and everybody said yes and immediately sent their contribution. So we've been very touched by that. And also on the day the art show was launched, our first sale was made, and 2 artists offered to contribute works as well. So it's a great outpouring of generosity and gratitude. Come in now and see Paul. He likes to work on the floor, and I think, Paul, you're working on patterns at the moment. Want to say something about that, or show us the works that you've...
Yeah, well, this is a pattern that's a work in progress. I might come across and look at some of the works that are in the show. So, and there's a couple of patterns there too. So. This one is entitled Pregnant Woman.
This is Pregnant Woman, but it's not in this show. And you can see he's fairly prolific. He's here every day, and especially at the moment. So these are the works that Paul has. Want to say something about them?
Well, these are often, I draw my inspiration from the river and the reflections of trees in the water. That's a common theme. This is one I've done in black and white with charcoal.
And would you say that
and graphite.
Somehow meditation is part of your artwork as well?
I like to think that's true, that the paintings that I do hopefully arise out of stillness and convey a feeling of stillness in them. So that's probably something that I strive for. This is another one that's in the show.
Good. The next one looks quite different.
Yeah, it's not mine.
I think it's Naomi's, one of the younger meditators. It's a
beautiful
jazz club that she was at. And this is one of your pattern ones.
This one was inspired by my love of the Lord's Prayer. I used to recite the Lord's Prayer, I still do. I recite the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic as I walk, and it engenders in me a great feeling of peace. And I wanted to kind of represent this peace in all its dimensions by doing this pattern. So the pattern was inspired by the Lord's Prayer. So
quite different.
This was kind of me being a bit blue and introspective. These are another kind of pattern that I like to do, where I play with ink, and these are more native kind of mandalas.
Okay.
We have the most beautiful trees on this island, and we live with these trees all the time, so this work has hopefully captured some of that beauty. And this is a drawing I did, or a painting I did, of my studio. up amongst the trees. I think all of this actually arose, this idea of putting together an art show for the community arose out of a great sense of gratitude for all the offerings that the community, gives to us as meditators. It's really wonderful. The whole gift of meditation too, I think, is something that just in a time of crisis that we're all going through seems to provide us with something very, very, very important and special to be able to deal with these times. So in gratitude for all that, we thought we would maybe use the art as a way of saying thank you.
And we would love people to have a look online at the art show in a time of crisis.com, and we have set it up for mailing within Australia, but if people elsewhere are interested, we can look at sending, and if they're interested in purchasing paintings, we could send it to them. Thank you. Lots of love. Bye bye.